So it's been a hot minute since I've been on TikTok to actually like talk about twin flame information. And I was really contemplating on something that like I've been moving through, which is like betrayal energy and why this happens in a twin flame connection and why it's essential that some unions, some connections do have to work through it. So, unfortunately, your twin flame is going to mirror stuff to you that isn't exactly easy, and it might be a lot easier to put a blindfold on or want to point the finger the other way. So when your twin flame is doing something like being in a third party or choosing something other than you, being disloyal, lying, that type of betrayal energy, it's pointing towards a part in you, and this could be somewhere, that is like emotional, mental, spiritual, where you are repeating a pattern, or it could just be as simple as like a habit that isn't really serving you. And what I've learned is that when your twin flame is mirroring this like really crappy energy and this stuff that's really hard to look at, what they're doing is they're giving you a great gift, because they're showing you an area in your consciousness where you really have a belief of separation with yourself and with the divine. It was like I just had a light that was shining on these areas where I was like, oh, I am committed, and like, yeah, no, this is it for me. And I even had like people asking, like, is this really it for you? Like, how long are you gonna wait? And I kept saying, I'm not waiting for anyone. Like, this is the journey that I've chosen. But this experience really showed me where I was having a deep level of separation consciousness, which means that I wasn't truly choosing my twin flame union at like completely at the core, especially when things got hard. And that is the thing, is your twin flame will always push you and always bring you to the edge, and they'll always ask you, do you really love me here? Even when I do this, do you really love me here? And so that is something that betrayal energy, like working through that in your union, is really helpful to show you. Because if you really believe that this person is your twin flame, well, they can only mirror how you treat yourself and how much you love yourself. So like if you truly believe this person is your true twin flame and they're doing something that makes you feel extremely betrayed or hurt, just extremely betrayed, you have to really look at yourself and be like, hey, like, where am I betraying myself? Like, what is this showing me? Because it's coming up for a reason. And for me, it was an area where like I was committed and like I was all about like the journey, but then it would get super hard, and like I would almost like have to like walk myself back to my commitment, because I would have a moment. Well, it was more than a moment. It was like I was going back and forth between separation and unity, like being like united and like knowing and feeling that truth and oneness with my twin flame. And so like I was really betraying myself because I wasn't staying with the truth. I was running with fear and ego instead. So I really wanted to share this because a lot of people wonder, and they ask all the time, like, why would my twin flame do that? Like, what is this showing me? And like when it comes to patterns of betrayal, such as your twin flame choosing a third party over you, So yeah, like the way that this really manifested in my journey was that I almost like, even though I knew that my twin flame and I were like eternal and like it's an unbreakable bond and that there was no blocks that you can't move through, whenever, you know, something really hurtful would end up happening, or, you know, like I saw something that like the old me or the part of me that used to identify with ego or was identifying with ego in that moment would be like, well, no, my twin flame wouldn't do that, so they must not be my twin flame, like there's something else for me. And so then I would actually actively make that choice to be like, oh no, like I'm separating with this person because that's not my twin flame. But that's really, really not the way, because your twin flame can mirror absolutely anything. If it's in your consciousness, they will mirror it. And so that's why I really wanted to share this, because a lot of people say like, oh no, your twin flame wouldn't do that. No, that's not true. If it's in your consciousness and you're like creating a pattern or you're repeating a pattern that is really not serving you and it's actually betraying you, they have to mirror that to you because that is their job.